Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever met someone who seemed friendly, honest, and confident, only to discover later that they were hiding something? Or perhaps you've wondered how some people can instantly read a room, understand what others are feeling, and predict behavior before it happens. The truth is that most people focus on what others say, but the best observers focus on something far more powerful: what people reveal without realizing it. Every day, people unconsciously send signals through their eyes, body language, habits, and behavior. These signals often reveal emotions, intentions, and truths that words alone cannot hide. Today, we're going to explore the 10 skills of observation that can help you understand people on a deeper level. These skills are used by successful negotiators, investigators, psychologists, and highly observant individuals to see beyond appearances and uncover what is really happening beneath the surface. As we go through these skills, see how many you've noticed in your own life. You may be surprised by how much information people reveal without ever saying a word. Let's begin. Skill number 1, watch the eyes, not the mouth. When most people communicate, they pay attention to the words being spoken. However, words can be carefully chosen, rehearsed, or even completely fabricated. The eyes are often much harder to control because the eyes are closely connected to our subconscious mind. They frequently reveal emotions that people try to hide. For example, pupil dilation can indicate excitement, interest, attraction, or even fear. Weak or inconsistent eye contact may suggest nervousness, insecurity, or discomfort. An unusually fast blink rate can be a sign of stress or anxiety. Of course, none of these signals should be viewed as absolute proof of anything. People are different and context matters. But when you begin noticing patterns in eye behavior, you gain valuable insight into what someone may truly be experiencing. The next time you're talking with someone, don't focus only on their words. Pay attention to their eyes. They often tell a much deeper story. Skill number 2, watch the feet. Now here's something many people never think about. If you want to know what someone is really feeling, look down. The feet are often considered the most honest part of the body because people rarely remember to control them consciously. Someone may be smiling and nodding politely during a conversation, but if their feet are pointed toward the nearest exit, they may be mentally ready to leave. Crossed feet, restless movements, or constant tapping can signal anxiety, impatience, or discomfort. Imagine speaking with someone who appears engaged. They maintain a smile, agree with everything you say, and seem pleasant. Yet their feet continuously point toward the door. Their words may say one thing, but their body may be revealing another. The feet often reveal where the mind wants to go. Skill number 3, spot micro movements. One of the most fascinating aspects of human behavior is the existence of micro movements. These are tiny, involuntary actions that occur for only a brief moment, but can reveal genuine emotional reactions. For example, a person may suddenly touch their neck when feeling stressed. They might scratch their nose when experiencing discomfort or uncertainty. A quick shift in posture may reveal anxiety before they regain composure. These movements happen so quickly that most people miss them entirely. Highly observant individuals train themselves to notice these subtle reactions. The goal is not to judge people. Instead, it is to recognize when someone's emotional state does not perfectly match the image they are trying to present, and that can provide valuable clues about what is really happening beneath the surface. Skill number 4, listen to what is not said. Most people listen only to words. Great observers listen to silence. Sometimes the most important information is not what a person says. It's what they avoid saying. Have you ever noticed someone carefully skipping over certain details when telling a story? Maybe they leave out names, avoid specific timelines, or suddenly change the subject when a certain topic appears. Sometimes a person may laugh off a direct question instead of answering it. These omissions can reveal discomfort, uncertainty, or a desire to avoid discussing something sensitive. Think of communication like a puzzle. The missing pieces are often just as important as the pieces you can see. When you learn to pay attention to what's missing, your understanding of people becomes much deeper. Skill number 5, notice the timing. Observation isn't only about what people say. It's also about when they say it. Timing often reveals information that words alone cannot. For example, a response that comes instantly may sometimes indicate a rehearsed answer. On the other hand, an unusually long pause may reveal uncertainty, confusion, or an attempt to carefully construct a response. Again, context is important. Not every quick answer is dishonest, and not every pause is suspicious. However, sudden changes in response timing can be meaningful. Imagine asking someone a simple question and receiving an immediate, perfectly polished response. Then later, when asked a more detailed question, they hesitate significantly. That contrast may be worth noticing. Sometimes truth reveals itself through rhythm rather than content. Skill number 6, observe repeating patterns. One of the biggest mistakes people make is judging others based on isolated incidents. A single action may simply be a bad day. A pattern tells a different story. Human behavior tends to operate in loops. People often repeat the same habits, reactions, excuses, and decisions. If someone repeatedly arrives late, repeatedly breaks promises, or repeatedly blames others for their mistakes, those behaviors begin to establish a reliable pattern. Patterns reveal character far more accurately than isolated moments. This skill requires patience. Instead of reacting to one event, observe what happens over time. When a behavior appears again and again, it becomes much easier to understand who someone truly is and what they are likely to do in the future. Skill number 7, decode clothing and grooming. People communicate through appearance long before they speak. Clothing, grooming, and personal style often act as a presentation of identity. Every choice sends a message. Some people dress to express creativity. Others dress to communicate professionalism, confidence, or status. In certain situations, extremely flashy clothing, excessive branding, or constant displays of luxury may reflect a desire to project success rather than simply enjoy it. Meanwhile, many genuinely confident individuals prefer simplicity because they feel no need to prove anything. Of course, clothing alone never tells the whole story, but it can provide useful clues about how someone wants to be perceived by the world. The key is to observe without making harsh assumptions. Notice the message, then compare it with the person's actions. The combination often reveals far more than appearance alone. Skill number 8, listen for repeated words and phrases. Words can become windows into the mind. Many people unconsciously repeat certain phrases over and over again. Perhaps you've heard someone constantly say, "I'm fine." Or maybe they repeatedly insist, "It's not my fault." When a phrase appears again and again, it often serves an emotional purpose. Sometimes people use repeated phrases as protective shields. Sometimes they use them to reinforce a personal belief. Other times, they use them to control how others perceive them. The repeated phrase itself may not be the important part. The important question is why it keeps appearing. When you start noticing repeated language patterns, you begin gaining insight into a person's fears, insecurities, priorities, and emotional needs. Words often reveal more than the speaker intends. Skill number 9, watch how they treat the powerless. If there is one observation skill that can reveal a person's true character, it is this one. Watch how they treat people who have nothing to offer them. Anyone can be polite to a boss, an important client, or someone with influence. The real test comes when interacting with people who hold less social power. Pay attention to how someone treats servers, cleaners, drivers, receptionists, and other service workers. Do they show respect? Do they acknowledge them as human beings? Or does their kindness suddenly disappear? A person who treats powerful individuals with charm but treats others with disrespect is often revealing their authentic character. Actions toward the powerless are difficult to fake consistently, and they frequently reveal who someone truly is when no reward is involved. Skill number 10, maintain inner calm. The final skill may be the most important of all. You cannot observe others clearly if your own mind is clouded. Many people enter conversations carrying assumptions, judgments, emotions, and personal biases. As a result, they see what they expect to see rather than what is actually happening. True observation requires calmness. It requires slowing down, pausing before reacting, and allowing yourself to absorb information without immediately interpreting it. When your mind is quiet, you notice details that others miss. You become less reactive and more aware. And perhaps most importantly, you gain a clearer understanding of reality. Observation begins not with other people, but with mastering your own attention. The ability to observe is one of the most valuable skills a person can develop. By watching the eyes, noticing the feet, spotting micro movements, listening to silence, paying attention to timing, recognizing patterns, decoding appearance, identifying repeated phrases, observing how people treat the powerless, and maintaining inner calm, you can gain a deeper understanding of human behavior. Remember, the goal is not to become suspicious of everyone around you. The goal is to become more aware. The more aware you become, the better you understand people, relationships, and the world itself. Often, the truth isn't hidden. It's simply unnoticed. If you enjoyed this video and learned something valuable, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you love learning about psychology, human behavior, history, and fascinating insights that help you better understand the world, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these observation skills do you think is the most powerful and how? You ever noticed one of these signals in real life? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.